Hello, this is Stephanie Washer, and this is for my Cisco courses. We're going to go over VLANs, just generic, real simple VLAN. It shouldn't take very long. So what we're going to do is we're only going to worry about the switch. We're going to go in the switch and we're going to create it. PCA, just for your knowledge, it is going to be on VLAN 20. And then we'll do like a voice example, so that will be there as well. And then let's see, let me click on here, and then you can see PCA is plugged into port 6 on the switch. There's really no need to look at the router, but the router is plugged into port 5 on the switch. So we will go into the switch, and I kept my current configuration. This is just building on the rest of them. And we're just going to build a lab. That's what we're doing. Build a lab for, basically we're going through Cisco 1 and Cisco 2, kind of picking and choosing certain things, but we're just building through everything and learning along the way. So my banner message of the day was keep out, and then I think my password is class. Yep. And then get into privilege exec mode as Cisco. Oops, spelled that wrong. Spelling everything wrong today. There we go. Some reason I'm transposing the numbers or letters. Okay. We don't have to really do too much. We just have to go into global config mode. And I'll show you the commands that I have. This is my VLAN text. We are going to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to do 6 because we're going to do a voice example. So we're going to have a bunch of VLANs that we're going to create, and then we're going to put that, or I'll show you what the interface is going to look like. So I wonder if I just put it right here, you can see it a little bit. So let's see, we're going to type, we go into global config mode, and we're going to type in VLAN 20. And then we're going to name it students. And then VLAN 30, we can just go right into the next one. And I'm going to name it faculty. I'm just using the example like Rock Valley College. We've got students, faculty, and administrators. And we're changing the management VLAN. So VLAN 40, we're going to change the management VLAN to VLAN 40. Management, if I can spell everything correctly today, I'd be really happy. And then VLAN 50 is going to be the, oops, hit enter, and administrators. Then VLAN 60 is going to be our native VLAN. Finally, VLAN 150 is going to be our voice. I'm going to put it all caps. And then if I do, if you type in, I'll give you, if you type in do and then show VLAN. So normally you have to back out to go into privilege exec mode, but if you type in do in front of a show command, you can do it from any mode that you're in. I'm going to do show VLAN. And so we created these VLANs, and you can see them pop up in the show VLAN. We've got students as 20, faculty. That's where I can check my spelling. Management's 40, 50 for administrators, and then 60 for native, and then 150 for voice. So those are all my different ones. Right now, everything is still in VLAN 1. It's still in the default VLAN. So we'll do some changing of things. So now I'm still in VLAN mode. I could make any changes if I wanted to, like if I spelled something wrong. But what we're going to do is, let's look at, let me minimize this real quick. So we'll look at our topology. We have, it's not a huge topology, but PCA is in VLAN 20. It's a student PC. And so we want to make sure that port 6 is part of that VLAN. Let me bring this back up. So we're going to go into interface, fast Ethernet 06. And we're always going to make it an access port. So we're going to call it switch port mode access, because it is a port that goes to a PC. So it's just an access port. It's not a trunk port. A trunk port would be in between two switches or going to a router. And we'll do the trunk port. It will be next. We'll talk about trunking and all of those configurations that go with trunking. So switch port mode access. And then we're going to assign VLAN 20 to this port. So it's going to be switch port access VLAN 20. And that's it. That's all you do. And then, so if we do show VLAN, you'll notice that port 6 is now in VLAN 20. It's no longer in the default VLAN, it's now in VLAN 20. If we wanted to get rid of this, if we wanted to put it back, we would just put no switch port access VLAN 20. That's all we would do. All right, so, and then there is a switch port mode where you can actually put multiple VLANs on a port. I'm not going to go over that right now. We're going to go now into where we're going to have 2 VLANs, 1 voice, 1 an access VLAN. So we're going to go in and nothing's plugged into port 18, but we're going to use that one right now. Fast Ethernet 018. And we're going to do switch port mode access. So if we had VLAN and we were going to set up VLAN 150 and we have it as a voice VLAN, this is what we would do. So we're going to do switch port mode access, and we're going to do the exact same configuration that we did for port 6, but we're going to add some, if I can spell, we're going to add some commands. So we got switch port access VLAN 20, and then we're going to do MLS, QoS, trust, COS. So what this is it's going to set the trusted state of the interface so that because we want it to be trusted because it's a voice interface, and then it's just saying what fields are used to classify that traffic. So we are setting everything for voice basically. And that's a whole separate class too. So then we've got switch port, voice, VLAN 150. So there we go. That is setting the voice VLAN. We're just setting the voice VLAN on port 18. We're not worrying about anything else. So that's an example. If you are doing like the hands-on final for Cisco 2, you would not set the voice. You are just going to set, let me scroll up here. You're just going to set these two. You're going to go to port 6, switch port mode access, and then switch port access VLAN and whatever the VLAN is. That's all you're going to do. All right, so that's everything for VLANs. We're done with that, but what we're going to do is that we're going to do show VLAN, and all I did was hit Control-Z to go back. Like I said, you could put do in front of it. Sometimes it's nice to have the breakup. So now you can see that port 6 and port 18 are on VLAN 20. Now, like I said, if you wanted to get port 18 out of there, we'll do this real quick. 0/18. If we didn't want, we would do no switch port, oops, helps it. Access VLAN 20. So like if we didn't want VLAN 20 on there, we can just do that and it's gone. And then again, no switch port voice VLAN 150. And then we can go back to show VLAN. I really like Control-Z, it moves it back more. So now you can see that everything's back to normal. You can see here we've got port 18. So before we had it in 2 spots, 150 and there, but now we have it, it's back to normal. So that is everything. If you have any questions, please send me a message through Netacad, and have a great day.